We asked students 21 questions to get to know them, their program, and their experience at Salus University. Here's what they had to say. What's your name?
My name is Katelyn Maffei.
Where are you from?
I'm from Danville, Pennsylvania, but I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania right now.
What program are you in?
I'm in the BLVS programs. I'm in the TVI program, and then I'm also in the CBRT program.
Why did you want to pursue this career?
So it all started, I got my undergrad in elementary and special education, and I was looking to kind of go further and get my master's. And I didn't really know what I wanted to specialize in, but I knew I wanted kind of something specific. And my really good friend, Michaela, she's actually in the programs with me right now as well. She mentioned to me, oh, have you ever heard about TVI? And I hadn't. And I looked into it and I just fell in love with it. And I'm like, yes, this is absolutely what I want to do. So that's how I got into the TVI programs. And then in my second semester in TVI, I took a class that had a lot of life skills in it. I can't remember the name of the class exactly, but that's where I really fell in love with VRT. And I'm like, can I do both? So that's how I got into doing both.
Why did you choose Sallis?
So there's really only two, there's three programs in Pennsylvania to be a teacher of the visually impaired, but Kutztown is a bachelor's degree and I wanted to do a master's degree. And Sallis just seemed like the obvious pick for me. I feel like it's really, since it's so based around optometry and things like that, I felt like I was really gonna get the clinical and kind of the anatomy aspect of the vision profession. So that's why I went with Sallis.
What have you discovered about your subject area as a grad student that you wish you knew as an undergrad student?
Well, everything, because I didn't know anything about vision professions as an undergrad student. I went for education. And this kind of leads me into, why I'm so passionate about what I'm doing, because it blows my mind that I was a senior in college and I was majoring in special education and I had never even heard about teachers for the visually impaired. And that to me is just crazy because they need them so bad. So I'm starting kind of like an organization club here at Sallis where we're going to be going into high schools and undergraduate institutions, and we're going to talk about low vision professions and kind of share it with younger people because they don't know about it.
What do you feel is unique about your program at Sallis?
I mean, I'm sure the professors and all the programs are amazing. I feel like the professors, like for the BLVS major, I have felt just so, I was nervous going into an online program because I went for my undergrad, I went to Misericordia University, it was all in person, and I was really nervous about getting my master's degree primarily online. I was nervous that I wasn't gonna feel a connection to my professors, like I wasn't really gonna be a person to them, if that makes sense. And I feel like the relationships that I've made with the professors, with BLVS, and I feel like they care so much about the students that they're working with. That to me is something really special about our program, just the relationships I've made with the professors.
What clinical experience has made an impact on you thus far at Sallis?
So I really have only done mostly observations right now. I'm doing my clinical work later on for VRT, but just in the few observations I've had, I mean, it's been awesome to kind of see the things that I've learned in my classes. It's really cool to see it come into fruition in a classroom. My assistive technology class, before, I knew nothing about assistive technology or, magnifiers or any of that kind of stuff. And it's been really cool in my observations to see, students using the things that I've learned in that class and understanding what it's for.
Have you had any discouraging or especially triumphant moments in the classroom or clinic?
Yeah, I could say. So I feel like the thing I'm most proud of and the thing that really has been the hardest part of the program is learning braille. I didn't really know about braille before, I started on this journey, and I think I kind of went into it thinking, oh, I'm gonna learn the alphabet in braille, and then I'm gonna be amazing at it, and it's just gonna be so easy. And it's like, I remember when I got my UEB dictionary and I was looking through it and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like a totally different language. Like it was like so overwhelming. So that for me, like it was discouraging because I didn't realize how much I had to learn and how much I didn't know. But I had an amazing, for my braille classes, I had a professor named Barb, and she was just amazing, and she taught me so much, and I feel so confident in my braille skills now, and it's just an amazing skill to have. And I'm proud of myself for learning it, but it was really scary at first.
What's been your favorite class so far?
My braille classes, definitely. I've taken 3, and then I'm in 2 of them right now, and I would have to say, like, my favorite one was, we took a braille. So because I'm in vision rehabilitation therapy and I'm in teaching visually impaired, I have to do a braille class for kids, and then I have to do a braille class for adults. And I loved my braille class for kids. Like we had like a project where we had to like adapt 5 different children's books like into the different like braille and like tactual like ways to show like a children's book. And like that, to me, I just loved using like the creativity, and I loved doing that.
Have you had any Eureka moments in the classroom or clinic?
I would say something it was like I finally like got it, was using an abacus, and because that's like how we do the math in one of the braille classes is using an abacus. It was so hard like explaining what I was doing, and I had to write it down in like these assignments. And I remember the first assignment, like I did so poorly, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I had a one-on-one meeting with the instructor, who is Barb, and then all of a sudden it's like, I got it. And then like I could write it all perfectly, and like it all just made so much sense. And it's just crazy how something that was so difficult for me, like an hour before that, and then all of a sudden like it just clicked.
Are you a part of any clubs or groups on campus?
So I'm the BLVS student representative, and I'm in the process of making the Salus Spacers, which is an organization. I talked a little bit about it before, where we're going to go into high schools, undergraduate institutions, and talk about the different low vision professions, and do some other volunteer work, really get active in the community. And hopefully, I've talked a lot with the different people in the BLVS cohort, and it seems like we have a lot of interest. So coming soon, hopefully.
What's your favorite study snack?
I love Takis.
What's your study strategy?
So I do a lot of writing things down. I know that everything is like on the computer and stuff, but I like to just have a notepad. And if I'm studying something, I will just take the chapter in the textbook and I will just write. Like I'll just write it and write it and write it. And that's how, I kind of memorize things, is once I've written it a couple times, it kind of sticks.
Where's your favorite spot to study on campus?
So because I'm online, I'm not usually on campus, though Sallis does have a beautiful outdoor area, like where the little like gazebo and like the little fountain is and stuff. I really enjoyed that when I was there for the week last summer, and then I'll be there a month this summer. But since I'm usually online, I usually just study in my living room.
What advice would you offer a peer who might be struggling in a specific subject or class?
Definitely make a one-on-one Zoom call with your professor. They want to help you. They want to help you succeed. They want to see you do well. And sometimes it just takes that initiative to know and be able to admit when you need help. And just taking that one step, it really pays off. How
have you felt supported as a student and an individual while enrolled at Sallis?
I felt super supportive because I came to, the different professors at the BLVS and I said, listen, I have this idea. It would really upset me that I had never learned about low vision professions in my undergrad or in high school. And that just really bothered me. And I wanted to share it with other young people. And so I went to my professors. I'm like, listen, I really want to do this. And everyone was on board. And everyone, helped me so much. And I have an amazing advisor for the club who's one of my professors, Professor Emily. And they just really, worked with me. And it's like, I just had this idea and they really took it seriously. And now, I'm writing the constitution for the club and I'm going to have a meeting with the student council. And it's like, it's amazing, like how I just had that idea and they totally helped me make it a reality.
Where's your favorite place to chill between classes, on campus or in the community at large?
So I guess on campus, it would just be like that little outdoor area. And I didn't really have a lot of time to explore that community because I was only there a week last summer, but I'm excited this summer, since I'm going to be there a month, I'm excited to kind of branch out and see what there is to do in the area.
How has going virtual impacted your learning experience?
It hasn't, because it was already a virtual program, which is pretty crazy because, everyone was having a lot of trouble transitioning and it was like, oh, well, I'm already kind of used to this. So I guess I got lucky in that aspect.
What's the first thing you want to do once the pandemic is over?
Go to the movies, probably. I love going to the movies.
What advice would you offer an undergrad considering pursuing an advanced degree in this field?
I would say learn the specifics about each one and don't count something out. I was very much, I'm going for teaching the visually impaired. I'm a teacher right now, so I taught preschool this past year. I went to school to be a teacher. My whole, world was just education. I'm a teacher. I've wanted to be a teacher since I was in kindergarten. That was my whole world. And then I took that class and I learned about vision rehabilitation therapy. And I never thought, I would want to learn about working with adults. I never thought I would want to do something a little more, health care related. I never thought I would ever go off that little path I had made for myself. And I'm really happy I did. I'm really enjoying it so much. And don't be scared to try something new because, it might really surprise you how much you like it.
To learn more about Salus University's programs, visit salus.edu/academics.